Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Imperial Holonet. I'm JID123.
And I'm Grid Leader Antilles.
And I'm Nero Cole.
And today we have a very special guest. Say hello, very special guest.
I'm Connor Nielsen.
Yay! Our
Glad to
second
be
guest.
here.
Yes, and he is here to join us for the news. So,
Hey.
let us begin. Where shall we start, Red Leader?
How about Robert Downey Jr. being officially confirmed for Spider-Man Homecoming?
That is right, folks. Even though, sadly, we lost Michael Keaton not permanently, we just lost him for the movie. Robert Downey Jr. will be joining us for Spider-Man Homecoming, meaning that either Spider-Man Homecoming takes place either after or before Civil War. Either way, we get to see some Iron Man in our Spider-Man.
I guess that
Apparently
also
it's
means
after.
he's. Apparently, I guess it's confirmed now that he's doing more Marvel movies. Because the last thing I heard is that after Civil War was the last one he was contracted for.
Yeah, so how do we feel about this? Connor, as our special guest, how about you start us off? How do you feel about this tidbit of news?
I didn't know about them losing Michael Keaton for the project. I had heard that he was rumored for it, but I didn't know we lost him. That sucks. But I dig it. I really like Robert Downey Jr. in the role. I like seeing him evolve and kind of seeing him. I haven't seen Civil War yet, but it'll be interesting. Is he going to take a bit of like a fatherly role to Spider-Man? I'm interested to see it, and I think it is a name you need to put in there. I think it's going to fit a little bit more naturally than, say, Falcon and Ant-Man. But I did like Falcon and Ant-Man, but that sequence did come a little bit out of nowhere.
Yeah, then never is mentioned again.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I always forgot about that.
But I think it'll work. I'm excited.
Red, how do you feel?
Well, I'm glad because as somebody who's a big Tony Stark fan, not necessarily the movie version too much, but any Iron Man is good Iron Man in my mind. So getting to see a little bit more of him, especially because this means that either Peter won't switch sides, because I don't like the whole side switching thing too often. That always annoys me when you have. Well, I don't like heroes fighting heroes at all, but especially when they're shifting around. So I think what might happen, or this might confirm my theory that Peter leaves the fight, and then hopefully this is kind of like Tony's redemption or trying to redeem the superheroes overall in Peter's eyes. That could possibly be what this means for Homecoming.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's a literal like he quits being Spider-Man possibly after the events of Civil War or something, or it's kind of disenfranchised and maybe Tony helps him out, or they both help each other out, something like that. I was personally more so hoping for Samuel Jackson though, just because as somebody whose favorite Spider-Man stuff is the Ultimate Comics, I was kind of hoping for that relationship that he has with Peter, where he's kind of a father figure to him.
Right. That's cool. Cole, how about you?
This wasn't much of a surprise to me, especially considering what we know so far in Civil War. So hearing that Robert Downey Jr. was going to be in Homecoming didn't surprise me, but like Connor said and Red said, I look forward to seeing what he does in the movie. I hope that we see him deal with Spider-Man in a way that we haven't seen Tony really deal with people before. I'd like to see kind of like that fatherly figure and Peter's life. I'm really hoping that that's what they go for.
Yeah, I would find that interesting too. Although, I don't think I want Spider-Man to quit after Civil War because that just seems kind of odd. Your first.
Well, I just mean disenfranchised.
Oh,
like
okay.
he doesn't consider himself to be a part of the community as much, which he was about to become, I guess, during Civil War.
Oh, okay. I get you. Yeah. I can see that. So yeah, I like this idea too. It's cool to see them actually, start putting the other heroes in the other heroes' movies, which has always been kind of like the complaint, especially of Phase 2. Like, why isn't Iron Man and Captain America helping out Thor? Or why isn't Iron Man helping out Captain America when S.H.I.E.L.D's collapsing? So
And just you watch, it's gonna be like two bank robbers, and then he shows up.
yeah.
Like, oh, this is
There's
serious.
that complaint
President's about to get killed? Nah. Two bank robbers? Whoa!
Oh, you gonna say something, Connor?
I was just gonna say, like, unless it's like the president getting assassinated, I've never really gotten the whole, how come the Hulk isn't helping Thor out fighting Malekith or whatever?
Yeah.
Maybe it's because, Malekith sucks, so he only needs to get fought by Thor. But the thing is, like, maybe it's because I read a lot of comics, like, and I just kind of have just accepted the fact that
Oh, I have to.
if Batman's going to be fighting the Court of Owls, he's also going to be fighting the Dollmaker, like, just at the same time, just because they're different titles.
Mm-hmm.
So when I watch a movie and it's like, well, this is an Iron Man movie, I'll just accept that he's going to be fighting like a bunch of fire zombies, just by himself. Like, it's an Iron Man movie. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting to start to see this crossover with Robert Downey Jr. coming on in.
Right. He might not even be in the suit. He could just be there for like a cameo, a very glorified, a glorified cameo. Oh, sorry. Everyone here?
Yep,
Yep.
I'm here.
Okay, making sure. Thought we lost you for a second, but yeah, I'm excited. So now that we did shall we move on to Star Wars news?
Sure. Let's
Sure.
do the, I guess, Oscar Isaac's thing. Oscar Isaac said that Episode 8 is like an indie film. That is all.
Weird. So, let's actually go to Connor on this one again, because Connor, you're the big movie buff. What do you know about Rian Johnson and Looper and anything he's done?
I have never seen a movie by Rian Johnson. However, I'm familiar with his 3 episodes he did of Breaking Bad. And Breaking Bad is one of my favorite television shows ever. So he did an episode called Fly, which is like it's just a bottle episode, but it's considered one of the best or worst depending on who you ask. And he did the episode Ozymandias, which is like the big climax of that show. It is probably the best, but I could never watch it again because it's just too hard to watch. In my, what was that?
I'm sure Star Wars won't be as hard to watch. Hopefully.
Yeah.
The day we get a hard Star Wars film to watch is the day that I roll over and die.
Yeah.
But I'm familiar with he did Brick and he did Looper. Those are the only films I think he's done.
Yeah.
I haven't seen either of them, but I am excited to see what he brings because he does have a humanistic side of direction. He always is good with his shot composition. He's cinematic. It's not a bunch of close-ups like a Zack Snyder, but what he does is he manages to really get dialogue scenes and capture them in a very cinematic way that don't feel redundant. They're always interesting to look at while you're listening to these people talk.
Ooh, that'd be cool.
And the way he shoots action is pretty good too.
It would be cool. So yeah, I keep telling you, Red. I think Episode 8 is going to be like the antithesis of Episode 7. It's gonna be we're just going to be coming out and it's like that movie was weird.
Yeah, that's good to hear because one of my big criticisms with Episode 7 that sadly in our commentary apparently the last 20 minutes got cut off. But
What?
Oh man.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you weren't here for that, Cole. Yeah, we lost the last 20 minutes.
Wait,
it cuts off with me saying I love seeing Jedi get killed.
Oh, dang it.
I'm not kidding. But yeah, the thing I was talking about was I wish Rey got a good amount of downtime.
Oh, I remember that.
But a lot of the other characters didn't, get just scenes that don't necessarily figure into the plot too much, but are just good character moments.
Oh,
and
right.
I really hope that's what this film is.
Oh, right, we were talking about that. I was saying, like, I was basically telling you, I said, so basically you want everybody to have, like, a Rey moment, like her just living her day. I mean, obviously not exactly like that, You don't want the day in the life of Kylo Ren, which would be weird.
We kind of got that with the Undercover Boss.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. We did. But yeah, so that's good. I like that. Also, I guess I kind of want to ask this now on recording. Connor, have you seen Godzilla 2014?
Yes, I have.
And you're excited then for Gareth Edwards on Rogue One?
Yes, I'm very excited. I should probably preface Godzilla, James Bond, and Star Wars are like my 3 childhood franchises.
I'm two for 3.
And Godzilla is something I can't be objective about.
Same. I can't.
So I loved that that 2014 Godzilla movie like to death. It was in my top 10, but I couldn't tell you if it was an objectively good movie. But I do like his direction, and I'm excited for Rogue One.
I would say it's pretty good. Problem with that movie are more script than direction. So I think the Lucas storyboard people are going to be pretty good.
Yeah.
And Gareth Edwards knows how to make scale. So AT-AT, they're going to look huge.
Yeah, they looked great in the trailer.
Do we know exactly what Oscar Isaacs meant when he said indie film?
It just the only wait. Ryan is definitely going to places and investigating things that haven't really been done in the Star Wars universe. For me, it's so fun getting to explore different things that I wouldn't have expected in this universe. In some ways, it feels like we're making an independent film. Certain things we get to play with, this kind of intimacy that we get to find. It's special. It's been really fun.
I wonder what he means. What things. I remember that one thing that could just be Mark Hamill trolling because I don't trust Mark Hamill, which is basically
It's Mark Hamill we're talking about.
that's
So.
true. What he said, it's all set in the past. I mean, could they possibly be doing full-on flashbacks? I mean, Episode 7 did semi-flashbacks, but I felt like we could get away with it because it's just a Force vision. So I'm talking about full-blown flashbacks.
No.
Okay.
We know that Poe and Laura Dern have a scene where they're escaping First Order stuff. We know a lot of stuff set presently. But I think what he might mean by things being different could be stuff like we're getting an entire casino planet, and I hope, because a lot of people have pointed this out to me, and I can't watch Episode 7 without thinking about this now, which is that so many of the worlds in Episode 7 are kind of just too Earth-like.
They're filming a lot in Scotland.
It's all Scotland. The Star Wars universe is all just little bits of Scotland. It's like Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
But a lot of them are just, here's a forest. And while Endor's a forest and stuff like that, they don't look alien enough for some people. And some people have pointed out, just from the bits we know about this film, we're going to have a planet that's all a giant casino. And that feels very prequel-esque in a good way, because those films at least did some really interesting weird, insane
Camino
thing, stuff like that's very unique, at least looking.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that might be what we're gonna get in this film, and I really want that. A casino planet, or it's a casino city. I wonder if that's Nar Shaddaa.
That would be interesting.
That would be awesome.
Casino planet sounds like something Doctor Who would do, which they have probably done. They probably have a casino planet.
One of those aliens looks like the Silence.
Oh yeah, I remember. I wonder if
they're all wearing suits.
The Silence, but no, that Silence was wearing a white robe. Maybe that's the pictures we saw. Remember a couple of weeks ago we talked about those guards.
Oh yeah, though that looked. Yeah, I guess that could. I actually have been thinking that might be Corellia, just because it looked a little bit like that after having finally seen that planet in the Old Republic. It looks kind of like there are some trees and stuff like that, which you see there, but then there's also city stuff. It's an interesting mix. It's like Coruscant with more trees and a little bit more steampunk. And I think that'd be really interesting to see on film. And that might, I'm glad he's saying this, because I really want, because Episode 7 was great in the fact that it played it really safe. And I really want them to take a lot of risks with this film, and it seems like that's what they're doing.
Hooray! Although risk they are taking, familiarity they are still doing. By which I mean, we now know that in Episode 8 we shall see the return of the A-Wing.
Yay!
Yeah. Oh, good. We have an A-Wing fan in our podcast tonight. Hooray! The ship that took down the Super Star Destroyer Executor will return, but maybe all new and modified. So yay! So that's a good sign. I want to see some diversity now. I mean, X-Wings were cool, but let's see some A-Wings, some B-Wings, the Y-Wings, some Z-Wings, some TIE Fighters, some TIE Advance, some TIE Bombers, some
E-Wings.
B-Wings.
Yes.
I said B-Wings.
E-Wings from the EU.
Oh, B-Wings. What are some other TIE Fighters? There was one that had an X. No, that's
A Tix fighter?
no, X. That too. There are a bunch of TIE Fighter models, actually.
Now there's one that has the wings of an X-Wing. It looks horrible.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
That sounds terrible.
Wasn't that Rebel Strike? Wasn't that run the Rogue One game? Rogue Squadron games?
I've only ever played the first Rogue Squadron game on the 64.
Oh.
That is one of my favorite things ever.
Oh,
it has led to my lifelong contempt of the Y-Wing. There's that mission you have where you have to just basically blow up a bunch of satellites. You're so slow. And the first thing you say when you get shot is, "Oh, they're slow, but they can take a beating." No, they can't. get beating. You get shot just as much as an X-wing, and you blow up. It sucks.
Yeah, you didn't have to play Rogue Squadron 2 where you had to take down a Star Destroyer. That was like impossible because the turrets just all aimed right at you and like
Oh
300.
Lord, that looks terrible, right?
Oh yeah.
But-
Oh wow. Yikes.
Yeah. What's funny is in the old canon, they actually pilots would actually refer to the the Y-wings, not in front of the pilots themselves, but secretly refer to them as flying pigs. It's like, yeah, because they go into every mission knowing, don't stay by the Y-wings because you know they're gonna die.
Well, that's something. So yeah, I think Ryan Johnson is going to bring it to the table. I'm still a tiny bit worried about Colin Trevorrow. I mean, I like Jurassic World, but it's kind of had that Episode 7 problem of a remake, reboot, sequel thing.
Well, I don't know. Jurassic World was one of those things. Like, okay, I should probably say that Episode 7 was in my top 3 of last year. I'm a little upset it wasn't nominated for Best Picture. I think there is some really deep stuff in that movie.
I
A lot
agree.
going on the internal work of that, especially when it says about. Like, I really like how that movie really returns to the religious element of the Force and how that. And there's a lot of things being turned on their head. To me, Jurassic World was just let's do Jurassic Park but bigger.
Yes.
Although I do love the ending of Jurassic Park. I mean, Jurassic World. I don't know.
That's
that
cool.
fight,
Yeah.
that fight scene was like awesome.
I don't know.
Just to
I
get
walked-
T-Rex.
I have a twin brother, and we went to see that movie together. And that at the end of that fight scene, my brother just started applauding and got the whole audience into it. And then after I walked out of the movie with him, I was like, "So, dude, you like the movie?" Not really. Like, what? Like that fight scene was really awesome, but
I was like that too. I was like, yes, the fight scene. I'm like, yes, 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 yes.
What other movies has Colin Trevorrow directed?
he made an independent film called Safety Not Guaranteed, and he made a huge budget movie called Jurassic World, and that's it.
So yeah, Red, just excited for the A-Wing, and you think we'll see other wings return?
Well, I kind of had this outlook of when we had just X-wings, I was sad because A-wing. Well, we got the modified B-wing, which was Leia's shuttle, which a lot of people didn't catch.
I didn't catch.
But then I was really sad that we didn't get any A-wings because they're my favorite ship in the original trilogy. So getting these back is cool, especially because I've been thinking it would be nice to have Poe fly one, seeing as his mom was an A-wing pilot. But other than that, after this, I don't want any more ships to come back.
Oh.
Like, I feel like from now on, just do new ships and have them be consistent throughout all 3 films, or have it be like things turn on their heads. Like, I really like that B-wing being modified into a shuttle.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
do stuff like that, or like the TIE fighters with 2 gunners.
I'd like to see what an updated Mon Calamari ship looked like.
Ooh, which I
love
think we
to see
need to
that.
see it because it's canon that the Resistance has. What's it called? What's the name of their ship?
I don't know. I don't remember. Sorry.
I
It's
have
not
no
home.
idea.
It's not Home One. It's New Hope or
New Hope.
yeah, they have to quote the movies.
This is called The Empire Strikes Back.
No, that'd be the First Order Starters. That's General Hudson's flagship.
Oh yeah, it would actually make a lot of sense.
What do you think they're going to call the next Star Wars movie?
Oh.
First Order delivers another blow or something?
Yeah, because they never did really the Resistance didn't really win. I mean, trillions are dead.
Yeah.
They don't seem to win them at all.
I would. Well, it depends. If they go for a more personal story, maybe Origins of the Force, or maybe Galaxy at War. I would like to call it. I don't know. I wouldn't know what to call it. To be quite honest with you, it all.
You're better coming up with titles than I am. I cannot name anything. I usually get in conversations with friends where it's, what do you think the next thing's going to be called? And they throw around these cool titles, and I come up with these things that just seem bizarre.
I always try to guess based on what they're trying to do. Like if Episode 8's more of a personal story, I'm sure they're gonna, hopefully they'll fix some of the political stuff, show us what's going on. But I think it's gonna be more focused on the characters, see what they're going through, and the more mysticism of what's going on with Snoke and that sort of thing.
Yeah, I hearing Luke talk about hearing Luke going on about the whole first Jedi Temple, and then talking about like there's the theories of Snoke being the Plagueis and all that kind of stuff. I don't know if that's died out or not, but
We
that's
kind of had a idea that he's like based off this mastermind character that George wanted long time ago.
oh okay.
Right, Red. He was like,
Yeah, because the thing is, Palpatine was kind of a mix of two characters, just this non-force sensitive puppet politician, and then this kind of a character, what's his name? Something Valorum, who was Vader's master. And what ended up happening is, of course, they mixed them, but even after they had done that in Episode 5, and when Episode 6 was already, I think, finished filming, what's his name? Richard actually, Morgwan said that they were still, if they got it, if they did another film, they were still going to do that character, who would be like incredibly patient and would be manipulating everything. George wanted a scene where Vader would talk to like the dark side embodied, and you wouldn't be able to see him, but it would be like he's almost talking to the dark itself.
Alrighty. But talking about like there's a lot of history being presented that it seems like we're going to delve into in this next movie, Episode 8.
Do you think they'll borrow from the Old Republic at all?
like Typhon.
I want the title to be something like Tales of the Jedi, like the classic Dark Horse comics that dealt with the first Jedi stuff. Like something akin to that.
Well, they almost called. Sorry.
I was gonna say it sounds like a really cool title for like an anthology kind of pulp sounding adventure thing.
Yeah, that's actually what the TOTJ stuff was.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was really cool pulp stuff.
You'll learn. You probably already figured this out, but I have pretty much no working knowledge of the extended universe. The movies are pretty much all the Star Wars I know.
That's a good we have Red on our team.
Thank you.
I don't even know that much about that
you
stuff.
don't. You don't have to worry, Connor. We're not the experts on this stuff either. We're just enthusiasts.
Although, they almost did call Episode 7 Shadows of the Empire, which is a comic book that takes place in between Episodes 5 and 6.
I played that video game when I was a little kid. I loved that game.
Oh yeah, it's also a game too. I always forget it's a game. I always had the comic.
I like the IG-88 boss battle is so annoying because he just jumps around with his pulse cannon just firing at you all the time, and it was so not fair. I never got past that.
Ooh, Red, I just thought of something. What if Guillermo del Toro is like the master of the casino planet? You could totally see him playing that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that would make sense.
He's the head boss of the casino. Maybe that casino's like sort of like a Maz Castle area where everybody comes and they know all the secrets.
Do we have any more Star Wars news?
Yes, we do. We have one more. In comic news for Star Wars, a preview for the new Elite Stormtroopers has arrived. There's some cool concept art. I haven't really been following up as much with the actual Star Wars comic as I have with more Vader. But even then, I still have to get it back up because I always order in trades. But these look cool. If you don't see them, the basic way I can describe it to the audience is that these look like Republic Commandos, but if they were Stormtroopers. Red, you probably have more to say on this than I do.
Yeah, one of them looks a lot like Commander Faye, right down to like the way the mask is, who's a hold on, my pop-up ad.
I hate those.
There, got it. But yeah, he looks a lot like Commander Faye, which is cool. And then, interestingly, the Scout kind of looks like one of the First Order guys. I mean, those are knives, not bombs, but the Heavy Trooper. But yeah, they all look really cool, and it's nice to see new Stormtrooper designs. I mean, we're getting Rogue One, which is doing more of them. I kind of hope we get to see some more First Order designs, though.
I think we might.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. And if they're bringing A-Wings in, bring in some new Stormtrooper designs.
Yeah.
Maybe redesign the original ones as well. I keep telling you, the Stormtroopers of the First Order, they look kind of chunky.
Well, they have no neck. The helmet goes down too far.
So, I have a funny Episode 7 Stormtrooper story.
Oh, sure.
Oh, sure.
So, working at a movie theater, we have icy machines,
Yeah.
and we have
Yeah.
icy lids on the sides. And the icy lids are like these little dome things that come in this big plastic sleeve that are, very vertical. I don't know how to describe it. It's like a sleeve, not necessarily like a bag. And when I was finished putting all the icy lids on, the trader guy
Oh, yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
I realized,
Nines.
I realized
Yeah, everyone has a name. If
I
you dig
realized
deep
that
enough in the canon.
spin that like the thing under my arm, and it could like twirl like the little baton he has. And I walked up to my coworker. I'm like, "Hey, guess who I am? Traitor!" And I started spinning it around.
Oh.
But the end of the sleeve ripped open, and all the lids went flying everywhere. It was just,
Oh.
That's awesome.
Yes. Oh, sorry to hear that. Oh, man.
oh, we all laughed about it. It was funny.
Oh, I bet, but it must be
I'm sure.
mess to clean up. Okay. Yeah. Let's see. What was the last thing we had to talk about? Suicide Squad. Was that it?
There's no Suicide Squad news.
They were just.
We have Willem Dafoe cast in Justice League.
No, now he can't bring
Yes.
Green Goblin. He can't bring Green Goblin. Oh well, but yay! At least it's Will Dafoe. He's still awesome. I still love you.
Any thoughts on who he might be? Because they're being really tight-lipped about who he was supposed to be.
When I hear DC or Warner Brothers come out and say
sorry,
he's a
sorry.
good guy, people, no, he's a bad guy. Like he's gonna be. I think so, anyways. But it's Willem Dafoe. He's awesome. I'm just happy that they're getting talent like that.
Yeah, don't waste it though. Don't waste it.
Well, they got J.K. Simmons, so they're getting talent, all right.
Yeah, I love J.K. Simmons. I'm glad he's a good pick for Commissioner Gordon. I always wanted Bryan Cranston to be Commissioner Gordon. Like everyone wanted him to be Lex Luthor. I'm like, no. I mean, he's a little too old to be Lex, but that mustache and that hair, like he looks right off the page Commissioner Gordon. And when they cast J.K. Simmons, I was like, oh, that is. I never would have thought of that, but that's really good casting. I was just too hung up on him coming back as J. Jonah Jameson.
Yes, I was too.
Jane. Red, what do you feel about Defoe?
I'm excited, I guess. I don't want more heroes to be shoved into this. But, I mean, personally, if he is a hero, I think he'd be like... Well, they said a good guy, not necessarily hero, so it could be like he's like somebody's dad or something. Like he's actually, like, they're gonna recast Thomas Wayne and make it another supervillain. Then Bruce is gonna be looking at the mausoleum again, and then all of a sudden his ghost's gonna appear, he's like, avenge me!
It's like his dad is different in every movie, and he goes, "If I have an origin, I'd prefer it to be multiple choice."
It's like
Shot
Rachel.
inside of a movie theater, shot inside of a museum, shot inside of a molosseum, shot inside of a airport or whatever. But yeah, it'll be.
War. Oh yeah. I honestly, I'm sorry. I guess I'm not excited for anything Justice League at the moment. I'm still excited for Suicide Squad. You know, I'm pumped for that. But you know, Justice League, no, not really. No, not until Lon Snyder is still.
Snyder's still directing it?
Yeah. They haven't fired him. He's still around.
Well, it'd be kind of hard, but even so, I'm like, oh,
Well,
why?
Fantastic Four did that, and we learned the hard way what happens when you fire your director mid movie. So
Yeah.
Man, we're still getting that Ben Affleck movie, so that's
Well, the thing is, like, they were in pre-production. They actually hadn't started production yet. And they still had the chance to fire Snyder, and they're like, no, we're sticking to our guns. And now they've begun filming. They had their chance. Like, between Batman v Superman opening and a week after it opened, and I think sometime after its second weekend is when they started filming. So they had their chance.
yeah.
But do you really want to piss off a guy who's as crazy and unhinged as Snyder? This is the guy who said it's not murder if it's a grenade. Like,
Hey, it's just manslaughter. That's so much better than murder.
Exactly. If you really want to get on that guy's bad side.
Really.
Yes,
He just
people,
shows
that
up
was
in the
actually
DC
said.
office.
Oh, yeah.
Look it up, people. It's a thing.
It's a thing. It's a thing, unfortunately. And boy, howdy. But I guess, maybe because Goyer's... No, it's not. It was all Snyder.
Yeah. And
Although-
you know, I like that one defense he has of, well, I based my Batman on Dark Knight Returns, all right. There's that part where he shoots the dude between the eyes. I'm sorry, I just read that comic. He does not shoot that guy in the face.
We'll get to that. We'll
Yeah,
get
it's a
to
woman, and it's in the chest, and it's implied.
Yeah.
And it's a last resort.
Yeah, I could make the argument he just shot his ear off, but,
Oh, yeah, I mean, there's been a big controversy. A lot of people think that it might have actually... I mean, it could have been a flesh wound, because they say that the press explicitly says that Bruce hasn't killed anyone until they think he killed Joker in that story, so probably just a flesh wound. Kind of like with the mutants, where you think for a second, oh, they might be dead, but then they say, oh, it's just minor injuries and shrapnel wounds.
Yeah, and
The
the
whole
thing
rubber
about
bullets.
that story is they're always letting the reader know that nobody is dying because of Batman. He's not murdering anybody. They establish that. They establish that, and then they keep reminding you every 5 or so pages.
the complete opposite of Batman versus Superman, where you see Batman
Yeah.
smash a car and gets exploding.
Yeah,
But he kills civilians as well.
And he guns down the guy on the car, too.
yeah. Oh my God! Like this is All-Star Batman. This isn't.
It's Michael
Dark-
Keaton Batman.
Yeah. Well, that's more of a Tim Burton movie than it is a Batman movie.
That's
so
true.
Plus, he
I
doesn't
can-
revel in it like this Batman does.
It's true.
Too much,
Yeah.
at least. I mean, that Batman still did smile when he burned a guy alive. Oh, no, when he blew the guy up. Which, that's the thing I'll never forgive, because I've seen so many people pull the Golden Age excuse, and Golden Age Batman is the one who explicitly says, now, I always quote this, as there's nothing I hate more than taking another life, but I don't see a way out of it. 89, smirks. Like, it's very different.
Yep. And I think that's it for the news, unless we had like a few more things. I don't know. It was a slow
Prince.
news day. What? Oh, Prince. Yes. Sadly, folks, Prince, the famous musician, artist formerly known as Prince, has passed away. I personally did not listen to his music because it wasn't my thing, but I do know his Batman '89 soundtrack, and I'll always remember it.
When I first heard the name Prince a year or two ago, I turned to my mother and said, "Who's Prince?" She looked at me as if I had 3 heads. And I'm just like, "What?" And she's like, "I have not raised you properly." I'm like, "Well, apparently you didn't because you never told me about Prince."
The kids
Yeah.
these days.
Prince is an artist that I remember hearing for the first time when I was about 8 or 9 years old. My parents had just went to one of his concerts, and they had brought back his latest album that tour was promoting, and it was so different, and I didn't like it at first. But when there was a CD in my dad's rotation in his truck, like we listened to that till it was changed, and he didn't get a whole lot of albums on a regular basis, so. That album Musicology was something that I kind of grew up on. A year or so of my life, like that was the soundtrack before Red Hot Chili Peppers Stadium Arcadium came on and replaced it. And so Prince is always I've had a reverence and a respect for Prince and his music, and Raspberry Beret and that song in particular is one of my favorites. And Prince is one of those artists that he's like David Bowie. You never thought he would ever die, and he died really young, and it's really sad. So I'm gonna miss him. He's one of my favorite artists.
What about you, Red?
I only know him from Batman '89, but Bat Dance will never be the same.
Nope. Or Party Man. Yep. So,
Oh, by the way, I found the
Just
Dark
in
Knight
peace.
Returns
rest in
thing.
peace,
To quote
Prince.
Lana Lang, how many times do I have to say it, Maury? Batman hasn't killed anybody. See, Zach? I almost said see, Frank. They're so used to the Frank Miller shit, but this actually is Frank Miller.
Yeah. See, Snyder?
When Frank Miller is less crazy than you know there's a problem.
Yes.
You need to tweet that, Rudd.
Oh gosh.
I don't want to be messing with Frank Miller. So, yeah, folks, we end on a bit of a sad note, but we return to juvenile happiness. So, that's it for the news, I think. So hopefully you'll see us next time. Later, everybody.
Later.
Yep.
Bye.